Welcome to The Loop.
Welcome to The Loop, y'all. How's everybody doing?
I don't hear your voice.
I know you got to turn your headphones up.
Everything seems quieter this
I know.
week.
I was turning things down because I was listening to it, and the people at home can attest to this as well. We clip a lot, and it sounds horrible.
Yeah, that makes sense. I always thought we were really loud. My headphones were really low.
Yeah.
Because we like to hear ourselves.
Whoa, Jeremy's really loud now.
Jeremy
now,
needs to
why
go
am I
down
so
still.
loud?
Because he didn't adjust for you.
Hey guys,
Hey,
we
we're-
haven't done this for 200 plus episodes. We're tweaking it.
Oh, hey, what's up?
What are you?
Welcome to The Loop. It's a talk show about podcasting.
I think you. Did we just embarrass you, Jeremy?
Now we got more malakas
Not
than
me.
you can shake a spear at.
Malacca.
It's
We were just talking about we never do any practice off air. I just thought it was funny.
it was
Well, that was
funny.
something that was a completely different type of situation. but-
Kyle,
Kyle. It was
Kyle.
Yeah, it's
really
funny.
what it was
Kyle.
was that I turned it down and stressed Kyle out.
Kyle.
Kyle pointed it out because he thought I was an idiot.
no, I just
And
didn't hear you.
then, it all went to poop. It all just and someone didn't mute their dang alerts.
Who did it?
Who
Who's
did
done
it?
it?
Hey.
No, for real though. Welcome to The Loop. It's a talk show about video games. My name is Eric, and as always, I am joined by Kyle
Hello.
and Jeremy
Me.
and the Mr. Nipple Twister.
Whoa! You can say that, you just can't show
You
that,
can't
right?
show it,
Yeah,
but you can say it.
Kuiper's the man with the plan.
That's what he's known for. Twisting
Who's-
nipples.
Putting down. Now Kuiper's is really loud. Oh gosh, let's turn Kuiper's
Yeah.
That is
down.
not
You
what
don't
should
get that much
happen.
noise, Kuipers.
Yeah, that's too much.
Bad Kuipers.
Is this better now?
Maybe a little bit. I don't know. Someone still didn't turn off their alerts.
Still not
Now
me.
it's Kyle.
It's not me.
Yeah, I just saw the text on your thing.
Oh, Kyle.
dang it.
Oh, man.
here,
I
let me hit your
apologize.
button for you.
Oh, all right.
What is
Hey,
your problem, man?
Professional.
we're very professional. People come near and far,
You
and
know,
wide and deep
Wherever they are?
to see us do the professionalisms.
Yep.
It's a fun time. It's a hectic time. It's the time that
you know,
we
this
do the
is-
shows.
this time of year, it's like
Fall.
the video game all-stars, you know?
Yeah,
that
it's rough.
They just
They keep coming. The hits
bang,
keep coming.
bang, bang, just constant
Just
games coming out.
and the hits keep coming. And
You
they
know,
don't
that's a
stop
sports
coming.
reference
Stop
because they're
coming
called
and they don't
games.
stop coming.
Yeah, well,
Right?
I think it's
What?
it's hard when you do a gaming podcast because
Because we'd rather be gaming.
we'd rather be playing the games than doing this podcast if we were 100% honest.
Do you guys mind if we just like the rest of the fall?
Just stop. We just take a
stop the
break.
show?
We
And
just
then we'll
finish.
come up with like a Christmas special that we talk about all the games we played for the last 2-3 months.
Yeah, the funny thing is
That
that
might work.
we before the show tonight, we were in Slack discussing this evening's show because someone is too sleepy to be here. And
Wait, he's
yeah.
sleepy?
Is
I
he
thought that
playing
Jeremy
a
just-
game? I think he is.
I thought Jeremy just beat him up as a retribution.
oh, was that it? Maybe
thought
Jeremy
that's what
was
it
using it
was.
as an
no,
excuse.
we only lie about what I'm doing
Yeah.
when I'm away.
Oh, right.
No, we shame Trevor for what he
Shame
does.
Trevor. Yeah, that's right.
No, but Trevor's not here, so we were talking about tonight's show. And at one point, Jeremy and I are both desperate to finish Assassin's Creed before Red Dead comes out Friday.
The desperation has disappeared since then, I think.
Oh, because you realized how much more you have to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways,
I gave up on that a long time ago.
Yes. So I'm desperate. I think Jeremy was for a minute though today. He was like a hot minute. Thought maybe he could get further.
I
in it.
realized how many hours ahead you were of me and how far from finishing you are.
Yeah.
And I went, there's actually not enough time before
Red Dead.
Thursday at midnight.
If you don't sleep, there is.
Nope, I don't think there is.
I think so.
You were 14 hours ahead of me and only 6 levels ahead of me.
Yeah, that's true.
You know what, Jeremy? Here's how you do it. You just turn it on easy.
And you're on the same episode.
It's on easy. There's a level.
Yeah, there's a level.
What?
You could turn it down to easy.
Do you have it where it? We're talking about
Assassin's Creed
but
Odyssey.
do you have it set up to show you where to go like the old games?
Yes.
Or are you doing the hunt and find?
Yeah, I don't do
method?
the hunt and find thing. That's only that.
Are you
annoys-
kidding me?
Yeah, that annoys me too much.
Is it easier the other? I mean,
It's-
does
it's-
it just
yeah.
tell you where to go and you
It's
just go
there's
there?
just a
Just have your
marker on the
marker.
map.
Are you kidding?
Yeah.
So I should just do that? I
Yeah.
could actually be
Didn't
ahead
you-
of you if I did that.
That was
We
our
had
whole
this-
conversation last week.
We had
about-
this conversation
Well,
last week on
guess
Discord.
what? I did it the way the game told me to do it. 'Cause
Yeah,
I
I-
always do that.
I turned that on for the first 5 seconds until Eric was the voice of reason that was like, I don't have time to just try and figure this all
It's not horrible. I'll be honest. It's kind of.
Well,
I
it's
kinda
just
like
here's the
it
thing though.
because
It's too.
the MMO type thing of it.
But it's
you know.
it's too easy. It's
Or
not. I mean,
RPG.
all
RPG
it
is the
does
right
is
term
add
I'm
about
looking
like
for.
2 to 3 minutes to every mission, and it's pointless because it's just
And
like
if you're 14 hours ahead of me, I could have beat the game by now. Is what you're saying?
No.
But I'm not saving that much time. But I mean, it's just that thing of like, it's on the southeast corner of the thing by the thing.
Yeah, you got to find the
You're always your instinct is always going to be close enough to it that it's not going to take that long to find it.
Except for it takes time
But-
to find it on the
yeah,
map.
but you got to look in
sometimes
front
you
of the
don't
map.
know.
You got to read it. You got to go try to explore a little bit. Where when
Yeah.
it just marks it, it's so much quicker.
My biggest problem with that
How do
whole
you switch
idea
it?
is how it's in
Settings.
the settings.
That's smart.
Yep.
Yeah. My biggest problem with the idea of it is like as massive as this game is, why do I want to make it that much longer when there's other games to be played?
Well, and I think my biggest problem is the way they present it at the beginning of the game. Like, this is the way it's meant to be played. Like, if you really want to experience Assassin's Creed, this is the way. And I'm like, this is bullcrap. Like, why would I want to waste time doing that? Like, it's not
But
more
that's-
immersive. It's not.
It is for people.
I mean, I
It
guess the
absolutely
only
is.
reason it
they
is.
have to learn the map. They have to understand where they're at.
Yeah.
They have to explore more because some of the hints are like based on a city, and if you haven't unlocked that portion of the map, you don't.
Yeah.
If you haven't found the city, you don't see it on the
Yeah,
map.
but I have a problem with some of that too because it's not like this is a brand new game that's like, hey, this is how this game is intended to be played.
I
This
don't
is a-
know. It kind of is a brand new game.
No, but it's not. I mean, it's if they were going to introduce that, they should have introduced that in Origins. Like that
but
really
this-
was where the whole series took a complete shift and basically started over again.
Well, but it does say
Yeah, but
this
this
is how
game is so
Odyssey
much-
is meant to
so
be.
much
I
better than
understand
Origins.
that, but I mean, it's like for a game like this that's as massive as it is, like it just seems like it's overkill.
There's a lot of massive man parts in this game too. I noticed.
What? Oh, you mean statues?
Yeah,
It's called Grease.
It
there's
just
a lot of them.
it
Yeah.
just has
Yeah.
it is. Here's the thing: is I've come to the conclusion. I'm still going to try to finish this game before Red Dead. I don't know if it's
Okay.
possible, but
You're not going to start Red Dead until like Sunday or
no,
something.
I'm going to start Red Dead
Friday morning
at 11 p.m.
11:30
tomorrow
p.m.
night.
or whatever.
11
Is
p.m.
that when
tomorrow
it's
night.
going to
Are
be
you gonna
op-
play all
available?
night as an extra life practice night?
No, I'm gonna. Yeah, I thought about doing a Red Dead stream after the show tomorrow night and just be like, "Hey, I'm playing this. Watch." But
But I won't watch because I'll be playing.
I know.
I won't watch, but others will.
How about I stream it
Maybe.
as well? We'll duel the first 10 hours.
No.
Nah, I don't think that works as
Oh.
well. So we did before. I didn't finish my
Probably
thought,
true.
but we discussed just Jeremy and I trying to race each other through the end of this game tonight instead of having the show, and it would just be like somehow we were going to figure out how to get both of our game feeds up on the stream together side by side with both of us on there talking to each other while we race through this game. Later I thought, man, it would be chaotic if we were both hitting cutscenes at the same time.
Well, yeah, we'd have to have Kuipers
And-
in the studio to do cutting
Kuipers
of
and-
audio.
Oh yeah, sure. I'm sure Kuipers
Audio
would love
switching.
to sit here for hours on end doing
we'd have to be
audio
like,
switching.
Eric, I have cutscene mute.
Yeah, I know. I'm not even looking at Kuipers, but I can sense the disdain. Yeah, he's smiling, but he's very not into that. I don't think. But
He probably is though.
I'm thirsty though, Kuipers.
jeez, get your own drink.
And that's my problem.
Yeah, I'd like a Coke out of the fridge over
He's
Whoa.
become sentient.
there, please.
Now you're asking for it out of a
I said
special
please.
hidden
I said
refrigerator
please.
that's not available to everyone else. Is
Do you
that?
want a
He's-
Coke?
he's trying to-
Kyle?
No, I've got a drink right here.
He's trying to keep it from you, Kyle. Until you.
I know.
I don't
Until
know if
you
you
pay
noticed
up.
that fridge is pretty full.
Uh,
And who's stocked it the last
I
4
know.
times? This guy. mostly.
I don't know about the last 4
Kuipers, I
times.
appreciate you. You know, whether they heckle,
Thank you.
they heckle you, you heckle me, but I still appreciate you.
Anyways,
He
this game.
appreciates
I
you,
just wanted
Kuipers.
to
He
Coke.
doesn't appreciate us.
Anyways, we decided not to do that because next week things are going to be weird around here, and so we didn't want to like make too many weeks in a row of weirdness and not having. Because next week, just fair warning, there will not be an audio version of this show.
Correct.
There won't even be technically the loop.
I mean, it could
next
be
week.
a bad audio version.
We
if
could
they
just
really
have Jeremy
wanted it.
record himself.
Yeah, and just put that on. So just so you know, we're announcing it here next Wednesday. Jeremy is doing Call of Duty Zombies Halloween stream.
Yeah. I mean, everyone else is going to be out trick or treating anyway.
I mean, not everyone else,
I
but
mean-
not the people that watch the show probably are not going to.
Wow. Wow. What? How are you? Why are you saying that about these people?
Because I know them. Anyway,
Some of them have children.
I mean, sure. But so I think are you going to do it at a 9 o'clock, or are you starting at a different time, or will you start it earlier or later, or go longer?
At
or-
least 9 o'clock. Maybe earlier.
Okay.
Maybe. What do you think?
I don't
think
know.
Earlier
Let's not
if
do
I
that
get
here.
to it.
Just
But
to-
it doesn't matter. At least during the 9 to 10 o'clock hour.
He'll be on.
All
So
right.
you can tune in, watch for the alert. It's going to be zombies on Halloween.
Zombies on
Jeremy's going to be playing through
Yep.
that. And then on next Thursday, just for another programming note, while we're at it, the Tubcast will not be a live show. It's going to be a little bit shorter of a clip show of just everything we've done in the past, just a random bunch of stuff from us.
So if you're new and you're curious,
Yeah,
about,
or
you
if you
know,
just want to like relive some of the funnier moments we've had on air, it's
Yep.
going to be a lot of clips from gaming streams, Tubcast, The Loop, other last 2 years of Extra Life. There'll be stuff from that. So tune in and watch that. Some of us might pop in and out of the chat.
Yeah.
The reason we're doing that is because of Extra Life.
we're
and
tearing
yes.
the
so-
studio apart so that we can prep the new
Yes. Well,
secondary studio space
for Extra Life.
for Extra Life.
So we're going to be doing that on that next. What's the second? So next Friday.
That's true.
At 7 p.m. So that's why the shows are going to be a little weird next week. So there will not be, if you're listening to this through your ears only, there will not be audio episodes for the next week.
And if
I
you-
mean, there will
if you
be there will be the next Tubcast that we're doing
Yeah.
tomorrow night.
Yeah.
And
but
if
not
you,
the
if
following
you don't
week.
know what Extra Life is, then you're watching the wrong show.
I don't think you're
No.
watching this if they don't know what it is.
That's what I mean.
Oh, okay.
Well, don't
Because
force people to leave because they don't know what extra.
what?
This
No,
isn't
I-
extra. If you don't know what Extra Life is, you're in the wrong place. So just leave now.
well, what I'm saying is, what I was
Just-
trying to say
I
was,
think he's saying
I'm
mo-
fairly sure all of those who are watching a video game
Right.
podcast know what Extra Life is. But if you don't,
Hopefully.
we're raising money for the kids. That's the short version.
Hospital.
Playing video games
the
24
kids
hours.
Hospital.
Yes.
Anyways, that's a lot of housekeeping, but we just want to keep you in the loop.
So, what games are you playing,
So
Eric?
this is a talk show.
You didn't turn that one down.
This is a talk show about video games.
What
and-
games you guys been playing this week?
We already did that.
Why are you?
Uh,
no, we didn't.
Yeah,
Technically,
we've been
Why
talking
are
about
we-
Assassin's Creed.
Have you
I
been
played
playing
other
anything
games.
else?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, stop it. Okay, so
I have
Okay.
been.
So
No,
what
I-
else has Jeremy been playing?
I've been playing a lot of Assassin's Creed. Thanks for asking, Jeremy. One thing I will say about
did
this
ask.
game is that it is too big.
It is.
It doesn't respect your time.
Which is another reason
it-
that I don't
it does-
wanna chase the stuff.
How many hours do you have in?
Me?
Yeah.
I don't know, 50 something.
You've played games that have taken longer than 50 hours to beat.
Yeah, but this one shouldn't. That's what I'm saying. Is like it doesn't.
But you
it's a-
keep playing it.
I know. I like
so
it.
then
enough.
maybe it should.
No,
It's good enough to keep your
I mean,
attention.
Okay, it seems it's very repetitive.
That is a true story.
It's the quests are very much like they're like fetch quests or go kill this person or go do this thing.
Very
or go,
Assassin's Creed.
and it's fine. It's not though. That's what bugs me about it.
Has any of you picked a
That's
side?
true. You're right. You're not.
I feel like I
sneaking.
don't get enough stealth. Like there is not enough stealth in this game where I sneak up and I can
true.
just kill someone. And like I can't plot like the old Assassin's Creed games. There's a lot of like plotting. Hey, this person needs to be assassinated. I need to figure
You gotta
out how
watch
to
their
pl-
pattern.
Yeah, I
and
gotta
this,
plot
no,
in.
you just run in.
Well, I mean, you can sometimes do it, but there's literally times where it does not give you an option to sneak in and kill a dude. It's just like
Right.
you can't sneak up on him. There's
But
no
I think
opportunity
that's
for
because
it.
of the whole the whole setting, right? I mean, the Spartans were warriors, so this is much more of a warrior game.
I know, but it's called Assassin's Creed Odyssey.
Yeah,
I mean,
I get
but
it.
but it's still
I
okay.
feel like the only times that you really have the good stealth stuff that is set up is when you are invading like a whole like castle or fort or whatever. That's really the only time that you have that I've come across at least that feels like I've got to plan this out and have to actually work around different people to try not to be spotted because otherwise it's just going to be a nightmare to clear out all of these dudes.
You just run and have them trail behind you as you go get all the loot things, and take your fire arrows out and just run up to all of the things that you need to burn and just stand next to them for a second and then move on.
Yeah.
And
no.
then you run away as they're all wondering where you went.
I just think
Yeah.
that there's no the stealth side of it's just not there anymore. And maybe that's not what Assassin's Creed is supposed to be anymore, and that's fine, I guess. But
Here's
I think the reason I'm talking about respecting your time is I do play it because to a certain extent, yeah, of course I'm enjoying it. Like that's why I'm playing it.
Yeah.
But it's just the idea of once you unlock some of the fast travel points, it helps. But like there are a lot of just get on this ship and sail forever. And I get that there's other like ship combat that can happen on your way, but a lot of times I'm just so like motivated by my task because I'm trying to
so have you not
I'm trying
upgraded your ship very
oh,
much?
I have, but I'm just trying to progress the story, so I just try to ignore that stuff
Yeah.
as much unless they make me do like naval combat. I try to
I
just
don't know.
ignore it.
I guess I've been trying to do. If I see ships on a long voyage, I will attack them because I feel like it's the quickest way to get resources.
It is. It
Yeah.
definitely is. Unless you just buy them every time you go to a
Which is
merchant.
what I have been doing with my money.
Yeah.
And see, I
One of the
feel like-
things I don't love. Kyle, go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say, like, I feel like I'm very much I don't care as much about the side stuff because I want to see what happens in this story, and so I'm very much like trying to stay on the Odyssey main missions
I'm going to argue
as
though.
much as I can. Well, that's
Your
all
early
that you
game.
ever do, Jeremy.
No, I'm going to
It
argue.
is a
Your
dis- a
early
dis-
game. I
No,
think
Jeremy, a discussion is an argument. You told us that
it
earlier.
absolutely is when
That's
you have
not
two
true.
opposing opinions.
It doesn't mean that it has to be an argument.
That's a debate, Jeremy, not a discussion.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You treat every conversation as,
As
a debate.
Yeah, there's a difference.
100%.
He doesn't agree, but
No, he
still.
does agree, but he doesn't want to agree. That's what it is.
He's
You don't want me
struggling.
to
He's
argue.
trying to figure out a debate.
don't want me
He's
to
like, I
argue.
agree with you that I do treat every conversation as a debate, but I don't want to agree with you right
You don't
now.
want me to argue.
No, I'm
so-
just saying that most people have like 3 levels. They have discussion, debate, argument. You just don't have the discussion level.
Yeah.
You just have
But
debate, and then
but
usually
see,
goes to
I
argument.
think you're saying that. I think you're quantifying argument as like a fight, and I don't think an argument's always negative.
I think it always is. Arguments
See,
are always
there you
negative.
go. I don't think it is.
Debates can be civil, but arguments are usually not.
Look at what they call when in court when the two sides plead their case. Oral arguments. That's what they're called.
Yeah, that's a court.
They're not
That's
fighting.
in court.
They're yeah, it's
Court
the
is a
definition of
fight.
the word. But anyway, that's not what this show's about. Tomorrow night we'll talk about that.
Let's talk about arguments. Let's argue about arguments.
Here's what
Please tell me how I was wrong in
what
this,
feels
Jeremy.
the least Assassin's Creed to me in the game. I've only
All
been
of it.
out of the Animus twice.
Well, that
I
doesn't
don't want to
matter.
be out of the Animus.
Yeah, who wants to do that? That's not
I'm
Assassin's
just saying,
Creed.
no, but it is because that's a huge point of why you're playing these this character and what you're trying to do in history.
You're trying to figure out what happened, and the only way to figure that out is to be in the Animus. So what does being out of the
But
Animus
you're not
do?
because you're actually trying to find things in current day by going in the Animus. Every show's been every game has been that way. It's
Yeah,
always been about something that has to happen in the present day.
I think they realize that the Animus stuff is just lame, and they
It's-
aren't making you do it as much because they're like, this is stupid.
Because they don't, and I mean it's a difference that you don't have to go and actually do any missions.
Sorry, Morty.
Oh, Morty just fell. You don't really have to do missions. It's a hey, here's to push along the story of why we're doing this. But
I don't know.
otherwise,
I guess I just feel like the couple times I've come out of the Animus
Yeah.
in this game so far, I've just been like, oh, please get me back to the game. I don't want
Yeah.
to do this. Although there was one moment where I thought there was one scene that involves. Well, I don't want to say what it is, but it's
yeah,
a,
that's
it's a different.
too far in. I know,
But
where
it's
you're
a
going.
different. It's a different than what you expect to do out of the Animus. Like, and the
You're
different
talking
interaction
about
with
when
the game.
traveling happens.
Sure, I don't know what that means, but sure. I think we're on the same page. But
Okay.
anyways, there is like it's in a different location than you would expect, and so
Correct.
that was cool. It was kind of a refreshing thing because I didn't expect that, and it surprised me. And I'll give
Now
them
I'll
that.
expect it.
Now you'll expect it. It's spoiled.
I still think you'll be surprised.
But the
Probably.
thing about this game is I do enjoy a lot of it. I just feel like there's so much padding that you have to get through to get to the stuff that you want to do. And it kind of it's hard because I feel like in modern gaming they want the side stories to have as much weight as the main so that you want to do them.
Mm-hmm.
But then it's like I just make it the main quest.
Then
Like,
just have the entire game be main.
yeah, like that's what bothers me a little bit. Is like I know that doesn't make sense because some people just want us mainline it and get it through. But I feel like developers are so desperate for you to consume that other content.
Yeah.
But then it's
Right.
almost like for me, my brain is just wired like ever since like Skyrim or Oblivion or anything like that. I'm just like, okay, so the side quest is the side quest, the main quest is the main quest.
I always
Like,
find it interesting
Yeah.
when I
you do the side quest if you finish the game and you're bored.
I find it interesting when I look at like the Xbox achievements, right?
Mm-hmm.
And if I'm at a game where I kind of want to do them all, so I'll go look at the achievements and see how difficult they're going to be, on whether or not it matters for me to do this in this particular game or not. And when I realize there's ones that are like 1% or less of people have completed this
Yeah.
achievement, this is extremely rare. Things like that. I'm like, yeah, it probably shouldn't have been in the game.
Well, I'm just
There's
thinking.
probably no point.
Well, I mean, there's a point. People like to do it, and I mean,
People like
you
to
gotta-
achievement
Because
hunt.
You gotta
it's
realize
like
this
the
game-
ultimate achievement, I suppose.
this game
Because
is-
again, there are people who buy one game and
That's-
play it for
yeah.
6 months or longer.
Well, and I mean, that's the thing is like this game just keeps feeding you content after
Yeah.
content. There's a bulletin
Which you
board.
could do.
There's bulletin boards you could just keep going and going. We talked a little
Right.
bit about that last week, but it's just, and that's fine. So if you're like choosing, hey, am I going to get Black Ops or am I going to get Assassin's Creed? And those are you only have money for one.
yeah, then you're not
and
going
it-
to feel like you bought half a game.
Yeah, they give you a lot to do, but is that something? I mean, is it what you want to do? Is it what you want to spend your time with? And for me, it's like I want to kind of experience this game. I want to get through the story. I think the story, like the main storyline, is actually really pretty good. It's
been-
probably one of
been
the
really
best
good.
that
Yeah.
one of the best Assassin's
There's a
Creed.
few twists
story.
and turns
Yeah.
that catch me by surprise. I'm sure there'll be more.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
I feel like I don't know. Overall, it's a good game. I just feel like it's too padded in a lot of ways, and they're
Yeah.
trying to make me do things that I don't want to do, and then they kind of do like they kind of level barricade the story quest. So it's like, hey, you need to level up before
Mhm.
you go in here, and that frustrates me. But oh well.
See, and I find that to be a little more likable because that way I'm still kind of forced into doing some of those side quests that I'm not going to be looking for because I'm looking for something that'll give me the experience points to level up so that I can get to the next main story mission. And that's kind of how I played the Origins and how I'm playing this because it's like I want to see what happens next. And I like that there is those points where it's almost like a hey, slow down for a second and go do a couple things so that you can level up to be able to do this. And you'll also get to experience some of the world rather than just going out and just searching for everything that you can
Yeah.
because it's so massive. And I mean, it's one of those things that I don't really care as much about all the side quests. And the way that I'm thinking about it too, like especially coming off of playing Spider-Man where I care about the Marvel Universe. So going around and seeing all those different little things that I can find in the backpacks with all the different nods to the different like things in the universe and pictures of places and stuff, that made me care about that because I enjoy that world. Whereas this, it's like there's so much that's just like I don't really care as much about the side quests.
So I hear there's like 4 different endings though, and it depends on the side quests. Some of the side quests and whether or not you unlock certain endings
That's cool.
and how you treat certain characters and things like that.
It is interesting that they seem to put a lot of weight in the side quests, and I honestly think and maybe it's just like gaming fatigue, and that's why I'm not I feel forced on some of that stuff because I think if it was a thing where I'm like I don't have any other games to play, I just want to sink my teeth in and play this, I would probably be more casual about it and just go and do the side quests as I needed to. Because I do enjoy that process of leveling up and then going through
Right.
the game. Like I would love to just be level 50 and just like be able to destroy everything. And
Yeah.
But there's just this big looming
I
Red
get
Dead Redemption
frustrated.
Yeah.
cloud floating over our heads where we're just like,
You know what? I
Ah!
think that's probably a big part of it too that makes me just be like, I don't really care about this because I know that I know that the Red Dead world. I feel
yeah,
like
but I feel
want
like
to
you're
invest
kind of
in
like
that a little bit more.
justifying your like reason to not play it though that way. You know what
Well,
I mean?
that's
just
kind of the way that I play a lot of open world games. Just because if I get sidetracked too much on the side quests, I play games way slower than the rest of you do, and so like if I'm gonna get through a game, I need to follow the main quest. And there's certain games that I will take more time and go, okay, I really want to play this in this way.
Yeah.
Like it was with Spider-Man. And I think like Red Dead will be from everything that I've heard and everything that I experienced in the first game, I will probably invest in a lot more of the side quests of that game than I probably will in this one. Although by the time I go back to this, who knows? We'll see where I'm at.
I think at this point it's too early to even say that you'll even talk about Red Dead in the same way. Like,
Sure.
We really don't know. From what I've heard, it seems like maybe the way the systems work in that game, the line between side quests and main quests are going to be pretty blurred. Like they're not probably going to show you that. So it's
Sure.
going to hopefully.
I just can't wait for all of you guys 2 weeks in to get disappointed and really upset and be like, it feels like it's really repetitive and like the side quests don't matter and like I just want to get through this game and it's too big. I just want to see if that happens 2-3 weeks in.
Are you saying I say that about every game?
No. I'm saying it would be interesting
Oh.
if it's the same sort of.
He's saying that because
there's
he
so
loves
much. The thing about Red Dead, there's so much we don't know.
Yeah.
And what happens every time we get hyped for a game we think is going to be amazing?
But there is so much that
It
we
fails.
do know about Red Dead 2.
I mean, I'm trying.
Yeah,
I'm not going to try
I'm
to.
trying to be the least excited about Red Dead of all of us because I keep hearing how excited you guys are, and I'm
Yeah.
like, I don't want to be disappointed. Stop getting me hyped up.
There's zero. There's
I don't know.
0.1% chance that I'm going to be like bummed by Red Dead. The only reason I say that is because I don't know that I've ever one of the tentpole Rockstar games have ever disappointed me. Like
True.
between. Like since Grand Theft Auto 3, I have never.
Yeah, that's
I
true.
have never been like, oh, this game isn't what I wanted out of this.
But
Like,
but the thing, I mean, do you feel like they're gonna make it a GTA 5 online forever thing?
Oh
with
yeah, that's
this?
100% what they're
And
trying
see,
to
I
do with
won't-
the
I
online.
won't want to do that at all. I'll
well,
just skip
yeah.
that.
Why does it matter that if you don't
I
want to
don't
do
know,
that?
just
That's a
because
different
if that's
game,
where they
though.
put all the development effort into. I'll get
Well,
frustrated
no,
with
that's
it.
what do you
Why
mean
are
they
you
put their
even-
development?
What are you even talking about? That's not even coming out till later. Like,
I know, but I'm just saying.
What do you mean putting all their development? The game itself is going to be done. Then all of their development is going to go towards the online version.
yeah, the main part of the game is like done, other than some patches. I
You
don't.
guys,
I don't
guys
understand
bought
what
into
you're
this.
saying.
I get it.
Jeremy
No,
thinks
I don't
we're
understand
cult
what you're
members.
saying.
They did say that the.
I'm saying I'm trying not to get my hopes up. Don't make me get my hopes up.
I'd say my only like trepidation with Red Dead is like, okay, so I was on the subreddit today, and the like top thing on there is a bunch of leaked clips like from some Russian gamer because all the the
Sure.
subtitles are in Russian, and so I'm watching these videos, and like it's just like one point it's just a video of like, hey, look, watch him go take a bath, watch him like pull a horse out of the corral or whatever, the barn, and like it's this stuff where I'm like, okay, if there's too much of this like meandery, insignificant, you know what I'm saying, like this, just like, oh hey, just go do this little thing. I think that's my biggest fear of like, oh, I want to play the game. Like, is this the game? Like taking baths and cleaning your guns and stuff like that. If it's too much of that, I feel like if it's balanced
Yes.
well enough, it'll be fun to do some of that. But if I'm
That's what scares me a little.
but like, I think that would be my only worry. But they are at a level of excellence at Rockstar that I just can't see it happening to where they're
And-
going to mess this up.
And on
like,
top of that, I mean, the fact that it's been how long? When did Grand Theft Auto 5 come out? That was 2012 or 13.
Somewhere in there, because it was also for a previous generation of consoles.
Right. So I mean, this is the first game that Rockstar has put out that has been for this generation. It is a game that is following up one of the most loved Rockstar games that they have made.
Which people wanted it to have. This is technically the third Red Dead, but wanting
This
it to
is the
have
second one that Rockstar's done.
I know, but anyway, people have wanted to have this sequel, if you will, the entire time.
Right.
Yeah.
So I mean, I don't think that it's something that they've taken lightly and are going to be cutting corners or anything in. I think that it's going to be a good game. And like you said, everything that Rockstar has done since Grand Theft Auto 3 has been good. So
I mean, yeah, for the most part, I said tentpole games, so just to be clear, I'm not talking
right,
about
right.
like all the
Tentpole
small,
games.
like some saying like
The ones
I'm
that
saying
get you excited.
GTA,
all the GTA,
Red Dead,
Bully.
GTA, Bully
Bully?
was great. I mean,
LA
LA
Noire
I
was
thought
great.
was great. I mean,
I loved that
there
game.
were some other games in there
I would
that
play
I mean,
another.
sure you got some of the Max Payne stuff and that stuff is good, but it's not
Yep.
that. I think the problem is too is like I'm having fatigue with like the open world map barf games, and it's like it's just like so many of these games from like all the major developers, if it's EA or Ubisoft, it's just like, hey, here's this open world game, and then there's a map, and then there's a billion icons, and like GTA 3 is really one of the games that pioneered that system, like of like how we play open world games now. I mean, and everyone's built on it, but it's just I want this is like the first
I
game.
want a big map with no icons.
Well, but this is the first game in a new generation for Rockstar to put out, like the first game they've put out on this console generation that is like from the ground up built for this console generation. And I think that there's an opportunity for them to redefine what an open world game is. And I hope I hope they take some steps towards that. I mean, I know that they built the system, and obviously, who cares if they just keep using the same kind of idea? And to some extent, how do you else build an open world game without a map and a bunch of barf on it?
Yeah, that's
a bunch
what
of
open
barf
world game
icons.
is. Yeah.
But it's when it's the same. When it's the same, like that's my problem with Assassin's Creed is like it's so much of the same thing over and over and over again. Not that some of it isn't enjoyable, but like at some point, like I'm kind of fatigued with the combat. I'm kind of like I don't want it.
So
I
guess that's
avoid
why
it.
I wish some of the puzzle nature that they're trying to put into the game was a little less straightforward. I wish there was the looking on the wall for a hieroglyph in a cave, but it doesn't actually tell you that it's there, and then that reference. You see what I mean?
But I think my problem is if they did that, it would be like the game would be twice as long. Like because they would give you 100
30 of
missions
them.
that did that, and then it's like, oh my gosh, I don't want to do these again. Like every time I'd get that mission, I'd hate it, and I'd never want to play
But
it.
for people who want to play this game as their game,
I mean, sure, that's an argument
love
we
it.
could have for everything, though. But
Yeah.
it's just like that's not.
But I don't think that single player experiences are games that people get that are their game the way that you're talking about. I think that those are more of like your Destiny or your Call of Duty, the ones
Yeah,
that you
that's
could jump
true.
into a match
Your
and
PUBGs.
continually play the same type of matches with the same group of people and in a competitive manner that is just different than a
yeah. But what I mean, but what about the big online multiplayer games? They still have quests. They still. I guess that's Destiny. Like.
Right, but that's what I'm saying. Like
okay,
those
I
are
get what you're saying.
that's got like a repetitive nature to it, so that you can level
Even
up
if
your
they've
character.
got special week challenges
Exactly,
and stuff like that, it's
and
still,
so they've
it's still
got
repetitive.
something that even though there may be something that's slightly different, it's that repetitive nature and in that competitive mode and the way that that's set up. First single player campaign games don't seem to have that same longevity.
Yeah, but they're adding that to this. Like they have
Right.
weekly challenges in Assassin's Creed. They have
Right.
leveling.
But
You've
up.
got
They
special
have-
ships you've got to
That's
get only for today.
That's true. I guess I did forget that they introduced that in Origins
And I
because
mean,
I
it's
never
even-
really did any of
It's
those.
even like Forza. They've added it to where now there's these events that happen weekly.
Yep.
They're trying to implement this games as a service thing, which it's cool. I mean to a
The
certain
new
extent.
Forza I played the least on, but I liked it probably the most.
But I think but the thing is
Just because of the repetitive nature,
the-
it just I
Yeah.
couldn't keep playing it.
I think the thing for me though is like with an open world game, I go to those because there's this promise or at least this potential of uncovering something that you haven't seen before, of
Right.
discovering something new, trying to just like put like the carrot on the stick is always there, but it's not so obvious. That's what I'm looking. I want that thing where
Right.
maybe there's that carrot on the stick that ends up leading me into something crazy, and I stumbled into this experience that I didn't plan on having, and like where Assassin's Creed is not giving me that at all. Like it is like
Yeah.
every corner I turn, map is huge. This is a huge world, and every corner I turn, every cave I go in, everything I can just about know what's going to happen before I
know
do
what
it.
the what
yeah.
the NCPs are gonna huh?
The
NPCs.
yeah,
Yeah.
no, it's fine.
Sometimes I'm
Just like-
dyslexic.
Yeah, it's okay.
Huh? Did I hear something? I'm gonna come and get you. Stop doing that. Like it's the same thing every single time you're in a bush and you whistle to get somebody's attention.
And I think my other critique about the Assassin's Creed is they added all these dialogue trees now, and like some of them matter.
Have you stopped listening
some
to
of
them?
some of them matter a lot. No, you can't. You don't listen
mean,
to dialogue trees. You choose.
no, I mean,
Well,
Yeah, but the you pick the dialogue, and if you realize if there's multiple of the dialogue
Well,
trees and they're white, you just play them all. You don't have to listen to them, but it'll unlock things for you.
Oh, I never do the white ones. I just
you-
ignore them. At
Oh,
this
they
point.
actually help you.
I don't
No,
even-
they don't
yeah,
because
they
the
don't.
white ones are
Oh,
actually giving you the information that
That
the
you
map
need.
will already tell
Yeah,
you.
that the
Because you guys are playing
yeah,
that way.
Yeah, so I
Yeah.
just ignore that. But
I've still been pressing it, and I've realized that I'm like, why am I still pressing these?
That's
just
because
to-
of the mode you guys are playing.
yeah, but I don't.
Yeah.
That's the thing. That's what I'm saying is like all of that just seems like a waste of time because it isn't adding anything to the game to
Right.
me. Like it's not for me. It might for other people.
I
but
think
for
from
me, it's not.
people who are very story driven eat that up.
But okay. So back to my point is I'm just saying like if you they give you these options to make like a choice, and most of the time it just circles you back to the choice that it's going to inevitably make you make anyways. Like there are some like story beats where you don't have to kill somebody. You get a choice like kill him or don't kill him, and that actually pays off. But the game trains you to think otherwise so much that you don't even realize that because so many times it's like you can say something rude to them or whatever, or no, I'm not going to do it, but it just comes back around to you agreeing to do it anyways. So it's just like, what's the point?
It just
of having
changes a little of
Right.
the dialogue, the same
Yeah.
outcome.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It doesn't seem like it matters.
I think that one of the things that I am hopeful with Red Dead is the fact that the different play time that people have had, they've had different experiences with the NPCs that have shown that there's a little more life behind those characters, which I think is probably due to the fact that Rockstar had just an insane amount of money that they could throw at this game because of the success of the online version of Grand Theft Auto. So, I think hopefully, like you said, I think maybe this could be something where they're trying to reinvent and push the open world a little bit further by letting the NPCs that you encounter give you different experiences based on how you react when you encounter them. It's like the example of the guy that like tells you off because he's hunting, and as soon as he shoots the wolf that he's been hunting, suddenly everything's just great and he's friendly to you. The fact that you've got all of that mixed with the interaction and the ability to be able to make a situation worse by drawing your gun on someone or letting it be a more peaceful, civil type of interaction with
Again,
characters.
but I just hope it's not the exact same sequence every time. So
Right.
You always,
It-
like
I
think
feel like
Eric
we're having a
mentioned
little
before.
deja vu because we've talked
You
about
said
this
this-
stuff
yeah,
in weeks
about-
past, but
yeah.
I'm just
It's because we're waiting. It's only
But-
a day
but-
away.
well, I'm just saying we've made some of these same points
Yeah.
before. I just
Right.
I think it's just we'll have to see. There's some sentiment in the chat about AAA games and
yeah.
not and Rockstar they're finally putting it out and all these other people suck and blah blah blah. And I get the sentiment, but also like going back to the level of excellence that Rockstar puts out there. We are also seeing we're seeing these headlines about the crunch hours that they're putting in, these 100-hour work weeks, and all of this other stuff that goes behind that. Kyle mentioned it just a minute ago, the money that they have. Like there is so much more capital
The
involved.
money it takes.
To do this, which I mean, it's almost sad to think this thing is like something we're so excited for, but other studios just aren't able to deliver that because they don't have the money, they don't have the time, they can't wait 8 years to put their next game out.
Right.
Like they need, to keep the studio open, to keep the people employed, they have to put games out faster, they have to push them out, they have to try to do this alternate studio thing. Like, I mean, that's what Assassin's Creed is doing. Like, they're trying to do every year now again because they have 2 studios working on 2 different games.
Right.
Call of Duty's been doing that with 3 studios for
forever,
years now.
yeah.
They alternate. And so it's one of those things where it's you can't compare them that way, I don't think, because I think that the Rockstar thing, it is an event when that game comes out. You look at the way the calendar game, like a lot of games kind of move out of the way. Like once this releases, there isn't really a big title until like middle of November. Like everybody knows, hey, people are going to be playing this game. Let's just move out of the way. Let them have their space. So it's one of those things where, you can say that, but if you were to just be like, oh, Rockstar's the only one doing anything, then we would not have very many video games to play. Like it would be a very quiet time. So it's.
I will say about Assassin's Creed, one thing that I think has been great, the long distance graphics, the attention to detail in the
You're talking about like the
environment,
landscapes,
all that. It's impressive.
Yeah, it looks beautiful.
And it's a gorgeous game. It's probably one of the most gorgeous games of the year, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think it's one of those where people have been taking a lot of screenshots and sharing them on Twitter.
All those unicorns.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I saw that, and I'm glad that you responded to my tweet about feeling like I just needlessly spent a large.
It's only 6,400.
Yeah, I only had like 8,000.
Oh, okay.
So well, that is a big chart because I think I had about 60,000.
I think I have like 1,000 or 2,000 left, or maybe even less than that. So I was like, I don't know. This is probably a big waste of time, but this makes me want to ride my horse more than I was.
Mm.
I'm planning on finding the largest cliff and jumping off it to create a rainbow with just the right time to hit the buttons and get a camera shot of a rainbow.
Look
off
Jeremy's
a cliff.
progressing, people. He's
planning
talking
it
about
out.
a photo
I'm talking
mode.
about a photo mode.
I mean,
and I'm gonna kill my horse in doing it, but that's okay because
It
5
doesn't
minutes
matter in
later
this
it'll
game.
come back to life.
Yeah.
But
This isn't Red Dead we're talking about. This is
that's
Assassin's
probably
Creed.
at the top of my disappointing Assassin's Creed thing.
Is that you can't
my
kill your
horse
horse?
keeps. Yeah, I would rather my horse die and I have to go buy a new one from a stable.
Well, you're going to
Absolutely.
like Red Dead Redemption.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, in Red Dead, obviously you're building relationship with your horse, and if it dies, you got to start all over and rebuild that relationship. So it's actually going to be like a costly loss to you because you know it's so. You build, you can pat it on the head. I think I think it's an interesting topic though to try to compare the studios out there. There are a lot of studios that make a lot of money, but they also put out a lot more games throughout the year. Like, think of all the how many Ubisoft games have you played this year? Like, I know they're different studios all over, but Rockstar has tons of different studios all working on one game.
I played Far Cry, right?
Far Cry. I played The Crew. I played.
I didn't play The Crew. I played the beta.
Assassin's
Man,
Creed.
I don't even know all the games that were there.
I mean, but
That's
it's the
funny
thing is like they're putting games out all the time, and they're not always going to be to the level of a Rockstar game, but to each, you have to kind of enjoy all of that to get, if you want games. One thing I was going to mention too is that in that story, some more things have kind of emerged from the Rockstar 100-hour work weeks and things like Dan Houser. That story kind of broke last week, and it was taken. Something was taken out of an interview with him where he mentioned that, and people kind of got upset about it. And he came out and said, well, that's the writer's room. Like, we just work that way, and we don't expect everybody else to work hard, which is a really weird quote, but that's what he said.
He forgot to
like
say
a humble
that.
That hard. Yeah.
That's a humble brag.
Yeah, it was a
right?
weird.
Well, we don't expect.
I mean,
other
it makes sense when what he's saying there, because obviously you've got to have your story to push where the game's going and how the game's going to even be built if you don't have some of the stuff that they need to be able to start working on the game. So that makes sense in that aspect.
And I mean, if you talk to Rockstar, if you are, well, I haven't talked to him, but if you hear their stories that they've shared on Twitter, they've talked to other people about. Like, it sounds like the environment at Rockstar used to be pretty bad, but it seems like they even sent out an email to their employees saying, "Hey, feel free to share with people what your experience is here," and which is very unlike Rockstar because they're always tight-lipped. They're kind of like have that Apple culture of just like, we aren't sharing our secrets, we don't talk to anybody. And the Hauser brothers, they're a little older. I mean, they've been around for a while. They're not just like young dudes, and so I think they have that different kind of that old school mentality of a work ethic and what that looks like, and what
boss
that
employee
means.
work
Yeah, and
ethic,
and so he's gonna say some stuff that's out of context. And I mean, if you're being like, because there's a thing though, like about a work environment, and we've all had, obviously everybody has a different work environment, but there's that culture of, it's one thing to be told, hey, you got to work overtime.
Right.
You need to do this. You need to put in the hours. And then there's so I'm going to list off 3 things here just so I don't get interrupted. But then there's like there's a second thing of there's an opportunity for you to get overtime. If you want to put in the extra hours, you're welcome to do that, right? There's like those 2 things that people experience. But then I think there's this middle ground that no one's forcing you to do it, but you can tell that it is expected of you. There is there's that thing where you don't question it. You just do it. Like if you want to keep your job, it's kind of that unspoken, hey, if I want to fit in with my coworkers and my boss and I want to keep this job, like I better just put in the hours. And I think it's been a mixture of that is what you're hearing coming out of Rockstar. But
I'm glad I don't currently work in an environment that is you're expected. Either of the two, where you're expected to work overtime.
Yeah. I mean, it's like that thing of like, oh, hey, I want to put in extra hours. It's the holidays, or oh, my car broke down. I need to put in the extra hours.
If it's incentive based and it's because I want to.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah, and so all this came out, and then there was I don't think we have the story in our agenda, but there was a story that came out that all of the tombstones in the game have the names of employees who have died over the 8 years of the development.
Are you serious?
And so,
I mean,
I've
heard of them. I've
cool.
heard of doing things like that, but it was more just like the top developers' names and stuff like that. But that's actually
I think
really
and
impressive.
I think they meant to do that as an honor,
Absolutely.
as an
Sure.
in memoriam to these people who put their time and effort in this game. But man, is the media twisting it around. Like a lot of the game news is like, obviously, oh, this is cool. Yeah, put all the people that you overworked and they died because you overworked them, and you have this monument. And I'm just like, that's so. I understand why people want to react that way. I get it because
it's
we're
kind
all
of like the
upset
in
and
memory.
everything,
I think of it as like you see at the end of a movie in memory of.
Yeah, right. Or in
But
memoriam.
in memoriam,
yeah.
That's this in.
Yeah, there's probably a lot of
in-game.
little churches with graveyards in them, and then there's
And there's been other games that have done hidden Easter eggs of like that kind of a thing, right? But this is very it's in your face.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and I'm sure not every single tombstone in the game actually marks someone that has died.
Well, no.
I mean,
I don't know. But if you think about it, it might not be far off just because of how big their studios are, how many people they employ. Like, I mean, I'm not saying I don't know how many tombstones there are in this game. Like, we have no clue.
Yeah.
Like, that's
I mean, I guess
crazy.
I'm just thinking of like what you'd come across in a game. There's maybe 20 or something that It could be more. I may be underthinking how many people may have passed away while they've been developing it, because 8 years is a long time.
Yeah.
And the thousands of people who probably
that
touched the
employed.
game.
Yeah.
I mean, and you got turnover. I don't know. Who knows where that is, or how many. I don't know how many tombstones you have in a normal like old Western graveyard. I don't know. Is that a lot? Does anybody know?
It's like 3 families, and then like
but I mean,
and then at least 2 generations.
If you think
3,
every city that you run into, and there's a church with the graves that you may have,
and people died in their 20s, right? So
yeah. So there's a lot.
Trevi says they better not put zombies in this one.
It'd be a special game mode.
That would be kind of disrespectful.
That's what
the family members.
Well, no, that's what they did in the last Red Dead.
No, I know for the online stuff, right?
Oh yeah, no, that wasn't online. That was
DLC.
They basically released it as its own game after the fact. That was like you could buy it just as the zombie version.
I actually heard they were gonna have it where aliens came down and you could take their ship to the moon, and there'd be a special thing there.
So Cowboys versus Aliens.
Fake news.
No, I
Actually,
heard that was in the works for
Kuipers.
DLC 3,
Fake news.
the third DLC.
Don't listen to Jeremy, people.
It's after they go full online mode, and they've been like GTA 5 for 8
Actually,
years.
no, that could make sense if they decided to do an Aliens versus Cowboys type of event or something.
But they're
in
not
going to
take you to the moon, though.
No,
I don't think.
No, but I could
No,
see
there'll
them
be a
doing
teleporter.
something where it's
alien tech.
Yeah, I don't know what they teased DLC for Grand Theft Auto 5. They never released it because I think they did more content for the online thing, and so I could see
Right.
them doing
Now,
a zombies thing for the online side. But
yeah.
If they do a Back to the Future DLC where your end game is to get back to the future, you've got to get everything you need, get the train
and
ready,
if you have
get the car
GTA
ready.
installed on your same system you're
Then-
playing,
Oh my gosh.
Exactly.
it boots up the other game. and
Exactly,
then-
as you go for it,
Yeah.
it's into the other game with that car
yeah.
on the railroad tracks. Ding, ding,
And that's actually a
ding,
brilliant
ding, ding.
segue because they actually are teasing right now that you can, if you go play GTA Online on the same console that you're going to be playing this on, you can unlock 2 weapons for this game online. There's
So
like,
I need to go play that game tonight
yeah, if
so
you
that
want.
I can.
Wait, is there like a deadline of when you have to
I'm
play
not
it by?
positive, but it's like it's a pretty cool revolver.
They
and
were
then-
also doing early purchase where you'd get one. Well, depending on what game type you bought, if you bought one of the higher level games, they're giving
Yeah.
you like millions of dollars in GTA money.
Yeah. So,
Right.
but this is like you get I think you can find a revolver and then I think some sort of like hatchet or axe weapon or something then there's like these online missions you have to do to unlock them and then it unlocks it in.
Oh, so it's too
Red
much
Dead
work because I've
Redemption.
got to finish Assassin's Creed. So you're
Yeah.
saying.
Stone
A stone hatchet, yep. I think that's it.
And
there's a
then,
revolver too.
action revolver.
Double action.
Yeah.
Yep. So, anyways,
Double action's
As-
actually a slower
yeah.
revolver than a single.
Yeah.
For people who don't know.
But it's a cool touch. You gotta admit that's pretty cool. I don't know. I'm wondering if they're gonna do much crossover with that. I'm sure they could. But I mean,
It would be interesting to see what they do if there is a way that you can. I mean, because there was that ability when you were creating your character in GTA Online to make your dad or your dad's side of the family John Marston's family line.
oh yeah, yeah. I don't know. I think. I mean, who knows? They could do anything. There was one other quick story I wanted to hit before we left tonight. It does say that there's a rumor. I don't know if this is. I haven't checked the App Store to see if it's there yet. But there's supposedly going to be a companion app for Red Dead Redemption 2.
That would make sense.
a la
all
Fallout
looking
4, I
now.
guess.
Yeah, I'm on it.
But it looks like it's supposed to be. It's something that'll completely replace the HUD in the game. So it's your map and all of that.
Okay,
sort
so
of
they
stuff.
did that with
Fallout 4. That's what I just said.
Yeah. Thank you.
and yeah.
I tried using that and it just never felt like that was.
Oh, it was
as
gr-
natural
It was
for me.
great if you left your if you had an iPad or your phone and you left it to never shut off and
Yeah.
let your battery drain, which is not great. But it was great for
That was
that
probably
because
the issue.
if you left it running the whole time, you could just look down and you'd always see where you were moving and stuff. So it's kind of like being able to have the map open the whole time. But yeah, if you're locking and unlocking your phone the whole time,
Yeah.
that's not it.
So I searched Red Dead in the App Store. I see there's an RDR2 cheats.
Oh, download that.
looks
Get
like
all the
that,
cheats.
That one looks like that's a
what
really
about
good one.
fandom for Red Dead?
The next one that came up was a Bloody West, some type of. It looks like a terrible game.
Call of Outlaws Redemption.
Tre-
I love how they do
Trevi
that.
says, "I'm really curious if they'll have an online mode, though." Yeah, Trevi, we talked about that. Maybe
Yeah.
you missed that week, but that's coming out in beta in November.
Beta's in November.
So they're definitely having online. But they're
They're like,
rolling it out.
play the story and then keep
Exactly.
playing forever.
Yeah, they're going to slowly roll that out. We don't really know. There's no real details about what that's going to be like. And we've only-
Trevor's probably the only one who's going to
Fine.
play it.
Well, I'll definitely
I'll
play it.
play it. I
I
played the
mean-
crap out of the online mode.
Did you?
We all
Yeah,
did on
we all
GTA.
did.
Yeah, but remember I uninstalled it and then you guys wanted to play again, so then I had to go I was trying to download it and it took forever. And I
That's
was
Red Dead
going to-
Redemption.
Was that Red Dead?
That's
when I
what
did
we're
that?
Yes,
talking
because
about.
that
We're
was
talking
when-
about GTA Online. We played a lot of that though. GTA.
Yeah, but
Online.
I also uninstalled that.
Well, yeah, but I don't play it anymore either.
Yeah, I haven't touched it in a long time, but I played a lot of that. We all played a lot of that. We played that when we were doing the
true.
all the heists.
Nice.
True.
Stay
That was-
hydrated bot in the chat says you've been live for over an hour.
Yeah. Did
We
we
should
put
drink
that
some
bot
water.
on here?
I don't
Or is
know
that
who
an
did.
automatic?
I think
'Cause I've
it's a
seen it
bot
the last
that just-
3 or 4 weeks.
It's a bot that just shows up in the chat.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
It's so that they can Twitch can say that they told people not to get dehydrated and die
Jeremy,
from streaming
I don't
for too
think
long.
that's
That's
not a
not
Twitch.
what
approach.
it is.
Let's see how much
Are
fun
you
it'll be
sure?
during Extra Life.
Yeah, stay hydrated. It's another
How
hour.
many?
Stop reminding us how many hours we have to go. All right, that's true. Extra Life, don't forget about
Oh,
that. That's
man.
coming up next Friday at 7 p.m. We're going to be streaming for 24 hours.
Oh my goodness.
Also, don't forget about the programming change next week. A quick reminder of that.
Yeah, the best ever Wednesday show for Halloween.
Wednesday, Jeremy's going to be playing Call of Duty Zombies for Halloween. It's going to be your spooktacular event.
Can we
There will
make
not be
this
a
like
regular loop. Then on Thursday, we will have a very special Extra Life hype clip show for you to watch as we prepare for the Extra Life stream. So we will not
By
be
prepare-
live, but tune in and watch. It's going to be a little bit shorter of an episode, but like we said before, it's going to just be a bunch of clips of highlights from all the things we've done in the past. Gameplay, other shows, Extra Lives of Ghosts, Christmas Past.
I like
anyways.
that one. That's a good one.
Alrighty. Let's not leave, though, without checking our mailbag. Oh, wait, we don't have anything in the mailbag.
You suck.
Please send us an email to theloop@minuteinaTub.com, or you can leave us a voicemail at 475-TUB-CALL. We will play that on air, or we will discuss what you want to discuss if you send it to us. But now is the time when we thank all of those lovely Patreon peeps. Yes, these are all the lovely ladies and gentlemen and questioning
Undetermined.
people, whoever might be out there. They can donate at patreon.com/minuteinaTub. But as you see here in the shining Patreon coral, we have Jay Oliver and God of Atheists, who are co-producers. That means they donate at the $10 level or higher each month to support this show and other shows and anything else that we do. And we are very grateful, eternally grateful. Our hearts are full of joy because of what they have done. If you would like to fill our hearts with joy, please visit patreon.com/minuteinaTub and donate. Any level helps. Anything you can do. Anything you can do
Yes.
will be helpful. Why are you
Helps.
guys in the chat going to town so much tonight? Like, what's going on
I'm
that we
not.
can't talk about?
I'm not. I mean, Trevi. I was just responding to what Trevi had said about how he wasn't crazy about the whole online from the first Red Dead.
Oh, okay.
But that was like 2009, I think
Yeah.
that came out. So that was 5-6 years before.
There was nothing to do. Don't let
Yeah.
Trevor fool you. He
Don't
always
let
says
Trevor
that there's
fool
so
you.
much. It was so good, but it was like I
It
think he
wasn't.
just had fun because of who he was playing with. It wasn't that the game was fun.
Yeah.
It was
And
like-
honestly, it was
like if you're just going around screwing around and robbing people and shooting people, like, and you're having fun. Sure, that's fine. But,
sure.
Yeah.
but it wasn't actually good.
There was that time we had that shootout at the bridge. That was fun.
I don't know what you're talking about. Jeremy.
But I mean, it's one of those things that you also have GTA Online that's been super successful.
And
There's-
highly supported though.
There's no and there's no reason that they won't try and model this after GTA, but with the Red Dead flair. And I mean, I'm sure it'll be a well put together online. It won't be something that'll be just like the originals.
Absolutely
I'll-
not.
I'll be honest. I just feel like the worlds, the environments are so dramatically different. It's not gonna be like GTA Online.
Well, and plus they said that the old Red Dead map is technically like in the center of this game. Like it's in there.
That's actually cool.
Yeah.
Right.
So it's like part of this game, but it's just like a little part of it.
But I mean, I think there will be a lot of stuff that they will pull over from that will fit into what this world is. I mean, you're gonna probably be able to buy all kinds of different crazy clothes, get different horses. I would imagine that you will be able to buy properties, be able to eventually own businesses that will make you money in the game.
Wait, and what?
In the online version.
Oh,
I
you're
would-
just hypothesizing.
I'm hypothesizing. Based
Kyle
on,
doesn't know anything. He's just making
I'm
stuff
just,
up.
I'm just saying,
And
based
it's
on
all
what they
raw.
have done with GTA,
Sure.
I mean, it makes sense that would be what they would
Yeah.
try and do, is build it into a way that would make sense for the Red Dead world. And those are the things that pop into my mind first as, hey,
Yeah.
this is something that would be a way to explore some of that. Exactly. Like Trevi just says, own my own saloon or two. I'm sure that'll be a big part of it. In creating your own criminal empire in the West.
Yep. We have no clue, but we'll find out soon. All right, everybody. We'll see you next day. That's tomorrow for the Tubcast. Tune in at 9 p.m. Central Standard Time, always on Wednesdays and Thursdays. We will be here, and you can join us live in the chat. Make sure you put that Extra Life on your calendar. November 2nd at 7 p.m.
Yeah, you
And
got
we'll-
24 hours of time to try and catch us.
Yeah.
And
All right.
help us reach a goal.
Yeah.
I mean, help the children,
Help the
not
children.
us.
Yeah, we do not take any of
Yeah.
that money. All right, everybody. We'll see you tomorrow. Or next week if you don't watch the
Yeah,
Tubcast.
you know,
Whatever.
one or the other.
Yeah.